PCN met up with a pair of brothers-in-law, one with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and the other with a PhD in physics. What else would they do with those skills but combine them to embark on a rum distillery endeavor? This little upstart in the heart of downtown Plymouth, in a nondescript building that could easily be mistaken for being abandoned. The rum being made here gives a nod to the history of Plymouth's nautical rope-making community, and we got a chance to see how it gets made.
One of our big tie-ins to Plymouth, and we've decided to eschew the Pilgrim and Mayflower kind of obvious thing that's covered elsewhere, we think. We looked at Cordage Park as kind of a very interesting part of history of Plymouth. It was one of the largest rope factories in the world. The Constitution used it. All the cool skippers in the world used their rope. Our rum line is based on knots, and that's a nod to Cordage Park. So each one of our rums have a different type of knot. The first one that we made is the what knot. And then we're going to an amber rum. It's going to be called Better Knot. And then we're saving the name Frayed Knot for some future product. Rum is made from molasses, water, and yeast, and some nutrients. So we start with a 55-gallon barrel of molasses. We take it over here to our to this 350-gallon cooker that we add 250 gallons of water to, the 55 gallons of molasses that is actually forklifted to the into the actual vessel itself. It's heated up to 160 degrees. I take a canoe paddle and I mix it all together by hand until it's all blended. And then take that and we crash cool it down through this crash cooler right here. That knocks it down to about 100 degrees for us. It comes in at about 160 degrees, leaves at about 100, and then we pour it into one of these two fermenters. Once it gets down to about 80 degrees, a little bit less, we take our yeast and we pitch the yeast in there. You know, basically when you're making any type of alcohol, all you're doing is you're introducing yeast to a sugar. The byproduct of that yeast eating the sugar is alcohol and carbon dioxide. So at the end of my fermentation part, I have 750 gallons of 8% low beer. I then take that and it goes through the still in two passes actually. We have a what's called a strip run, and then we have a spirit run. The spirit run is much more exacting, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to extract the alcohols out of it. There's many different alcohols. I extract the alcohols out of it in a very slow fashion so then I can do what's called the cuts. So what I'm doing in my kind of skill as a distiller is doing those cuts and determining what the rum is going to be, you know, in the middle of that run itself. So eventually what will happen is this 80% alcohol gets collected, and then I'll make my determination of what's going to end up in my rum bottle, and then I dilute that down to the 40% alcohol that ends up on the shelf. When we're done making rum or any of our product, it goes into a big barrel and it gets forklifted up. We love our forklift. And then it goes into one of these bottlers right here. And each bottle is then basically you just place it on the bottler and it fills up for us. When that's done, it comes over to this section over here where we have our labeler. Zip, zip, we got our labels on there. We cork it, and then we put a cap on it, like that, and then it goes into this thing, and that heat shrinks it for us. And we're done. It's all done by hand. Family and friends, we cajole them into coming down and doing that with us.